Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining me today. My name is Michael, and we are continuing in the reading of the Word of God. We are in the second book of Samuel, chapter 10. We finished off with chapter 9 last week. Apologies again about not in yesterday. My stand is getting really bad. I've Jimmy rigged and taped it about as much as possible with the tape that I have, but unfortunately, I do not have duct tape. And duct tape is what I need. But it's okay. It works. I'm not complaining. I got it I figured it out for now. Until I can get a new stand someday. Just got other excuse me, things that are priority before a stand. And it's working, so it's alright. But yeah, we are on chapter 10. I'm hoping to get through chapters 10, 11, and 12 this morning. Shouldn't be too difficult. We might only get through 10 and 11. The next few chapters are a little lengthy, and we don't get a lot of time this morning, so probably expecting chapters 10 and 11. Which is okay, all in God's timing. They're not in a rush. We'll get through it when we're supposed to get through it. Excuse me. But yeah, so we are on, again, chapter 10, second book of Samuel. Go ahead and get started, so I'm not wasting time, because I only got 22 minutes worth of recording, because I started and I didn't see it, and I'm not going to restart, so yeah, 22 minutes and 35 seconds is what we get. So, chapter 10, David defeats Ammon and Syria. Now, after this, the king of the Ammonites died, and Hanun, his son, reigned in his place. And David said, I will deal loyally with Hanun, the son of Nahash, as his father dealt loyally with me. So David sent by his servants to console him concerning his father. And David's servants came into the land of the Ammonites. But the princes of the Ammonites said to Hanun their lord, Do you think, because David has sent comforters to you, that he is honoring your father? Has David not sent his servants to you to search the city and to spy it out and to overthrow it? So Hanun took David's servants and shaved off half of the beard of each, and cut off their garments in the middle, at their hips, and sent them away. When it was told David, he sent to meet them, for the men were greatly ashamed. And the king said, Remain at Jericho until your beards have grown, and then return. When the Ammonites saw that they had become a stench to David, the Ammonites sent and hired the Syrians of Beth-rehob and the Syrians of Zeboah, 20,000 foot soldiers, and the king of Maacah with 1,000 men, and the men of Tob, 12,000 men. So 33,000 men in total. And when David heard of it, he sent Joab and all the hosts of the mighty men, and the Ammonites came out and drew up in battle array at the entrance of the gate. And the Syrians of Zeboah and of Rehob, and the men of Tob and Maacah were by themselves in the open country. When Joab saw that the battle was set against him both in front and in the rear, he chose some of the best men of Israel and arrayed them against the Syrians. The best of his men he put in the charge of Abishai his brother, and he arrayed them against the Ammonites. And he said, If the Syrians are too strong for me, then you shall help me. But if the Ammonites are too strong for you, then I will come and help you. Be of good courage, and let us be courageous for our people and for the cities of our God. And may the Lord do what seems good to him. So Joab and the people who were with him drew near to battle against the Syrians, and they fled before him. And when the Ammonites saw that the Syrians fled, they likewise fled before Abishai, and entered the city. Then Joab returned from fighting against the Ammonites and came to Jerusalem. But when the Syrians saw that they had been defeated by Israel, they gathered themselves together, and Hadadezer sent out sent and brought out the Syrians who were beyond the Euphrates. They came to Helam with Shabak, the commander of the army of Hadadezer, at their head. And when it was told David, he gathered all Israel together and crossed the Jordan and came to Helam. The Syrians arrayed themselves against David and fought with him. And the Syrians fled before Israel. And David killed of the Syrians the men of 700 chariots and 40,000 horsemen, and wounded Shabak, the commander of their army, so that he died there. And when all the kings who were servants of Hadadezer saw that they had been defeated by Israel, they made peace with Israel and became subject to them. So the Syrians were afraid to save the Ammonites anymore. All right, so let's see here. Great battle structure in response to the Ammonites and the Syrians. So for verse 1, chapter 10 records the details of David's conflict with the Ammonites, the Arameans, incidentally mentioned in 8:12. It also furnishes the backdrop against which the drama of David's great sin will be enacted, which we'll be getting to in the next chapter, David and Bathsheba. From verse 2, as his father showed kindness, perhaps when David was a refugee. Now 10:4, shaving off a person's beard is still regarded by the Arabs as a great indignity. Get a little heartburn. From verse 12, play the men, or better, show ourselves strong. From verses 15 to 18, in the second campaign, Hadadezer enlisted the support of the Arameans beyond the Euphrates. The armies were engaged at Helam in the Transjordan, where David brought Israel another victory. From verse 18, 700, probably a copyist error in place of 7,000, from 1 Chronicles 19:18. And that is the last of the notes in chapter 10. So we'll go ahead and get started with chapter 11. This is David and Bathsheba. Man. Like, I feel like we should stop. Because chapter 11, 12... I don't believe 13 all kind of run with one another. Hold on, I apologize. Just trying to decide on whether or not I want to stop here because of where we just reached. Yeah, we're gonna stop with one chapter today. It's a good chapter. It's a great chapter. But everything inside of me is screaming not to continue on and to break these other ones into themselves together, so that way we're not separating excuse me, an important set of it with another set of it. This is an important part. It shows where David really goofed up. Yeah, so I'm going to stop here, and we will continue on to chapter 11 tomorrow, doing 11, 12, and 13. Make sure that I have plenty of time to get through it, because I want to get through it. And chapter 13 is also another 40-verse chapter, just about. So yeah, we'll go ahead and stop here. Excuse me. Oh, goodness. Okay. But anyways, sorry about that. kind of came as a surprise out of left corner. I wasn't expecting to stop right there so abruptly, but I do believe that this is a good spot. And continuing in from here tomorrow will be beneficial for us all. So with that, I do thank you for joining me this morning. Much shorter video than has been accustomed lately, but still nonetheless, even one chapter has its great amount of information, knowledge, and understanding if you just die-picked from it. Also remembering to go back verses and understanding the key theme of everything. But yeah, I do thank you all for joining me today. I hope you have a blessed and wonderful day. We will see you all tomorrow. I love you, and I'll see you then.